If you do not know me, they call me Pastor T around the Y, but I am a Terrell, Huntley, and I'm the pastor of UCity, part of the Lake Forest family of churches. And if this is your first time, because I do see some new faces, if this is your first time, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much. We understand the fear of walking into a new room and you don't know if you have been seen or loved or how you will be treated or even just tolerated. But we hope that is not the case for you here this morning. One of the ways that we are intentional about you being seen and knowing you is name tags, right? We really want to know your names. And this may be a foreign concept for church goers. But this just shows that we just really want to know your name and that this is a safe space for you because we are with Jesus. And we are like on mission just to love and to spread God's peace and joy to people and culture. And so again, thank you so much. Online, thank you for joining us. I hope that you don't fall asleep, and none of you in here do, because I see you. Because we are talking about rest. And rest is not it's not a motivating sermon. You know, one thing I notice about myself is that my sermons aren't really motivating. They just like despairing. I'm like, man, I need to talk about something positive. But I think rest is positive. And one of the reasons why I feel like I should talk about something positive is because God has this thing of letting me live out my sermons before I give them. He really does. And it's torture. It really is torture. And it just so happens that we are talking about rest this week. And I am fatigued. I am tired. I am very tired. And I was like, of course, God. We will be talking about rest when I am really tired. Or we were away this week, me and Kimmy and Tiffany, and I officiated a wedding, and I came back like drained. And I'm like, what a coincidence that we are talking about rest this morning. But I think this is what I think. I think that a lot of us in here don't have an issue with resting physically, especially the younger generation. I'm seeing that I say they because I feel like I'm older. They do, okay, whoever said that. Got it. They do a really good job of stepping away and resting. They make it like one of the top things on their list, and they do a good job of physical resting, but I believe not a lot of us do a good job of spiritual resting, of soul resting. We can go to a white sandy beach and rest. But it's your heart at rest, it's your mind at rest, it's your soul at rest. And so I have a question. It's like, why is it still hard for us to rest? Why is it still hard for us to, with all the technology, with all of the knowledge that is coming to us, why is it so hard for us to rest? There was a professor at Harvard that was asked, and he was asked, like, why should people sleep? It was just a simple question. He said, why should people sleep? And he answered. He said, you sleep for the exact same reason you are awake. Because your body needs certain functions to stay alive. It needs just to do certain functions while you're asleep so that you can stay alive and healthy. Like the same reason God has you move is the same reason God has you stop. It's the very same reason. It's for your health. It's for making moves. It's for doing his will. It's for meeting him in a new way. The same reason God has you move is the same reason why he has you stop. All of it is for his benefit and his glory. Now, I believe this. I believe there are 3 reasons we don't rest. And Allie, could you throw those up on there? Thank you, Allie. Allie is the best guy. She on it. I believe this is what I've just set down. This is not Bible. This is not a research. This is just my thoughts. Is that okay? Is that good enough for y'all? They was like, nah, bro. I need research. Here it is. We don't rest. I believe that we don't rest so we can see things happen for us. We want to make moves. We want to do things. We want to make, so we want to see like movement, forward movement in our life. We don't rest because we want to see things happen. I also believe that we don't rest so that we can learn as much as possible, so we can intake. The more knowledge I have, the more experience I have, the better off I am. The more of a leg up I have on my opponent, my co-workers, my friends. The more yard work I do, the better my yard will look, and it will look better than my neighbors. Mine don't. But it's this learning. The more I learn, the better I feel. The more I learn, the bigger I feel. Number 3, I believe that we don't rest to convince ourselves that our existence is meaningful. A lot of us don't know why we are here. So we are on this treadmill running to find out why. We are doing a bunch of things all the time so we can find out why we're here. So our existence, our just being, taking up space on this earth is meaningful. How many of you feel that? I do. But I believe also that God wants us just to rest for these very same reasons. I believe God wants us to rest for these very same reasons. And that is so we can see, so that we can know, and so that we can be convinced that our existence is meaningful from him. That it means something. And so this is what we are going to talk about this morning. Let's look at this word rest. What does this word rest mean? This word rest, and in a physical sense, right, is to be like still, calm, slow, easy. But in a spiritual sense, this word means to be at peace and to be still. Like God said, one of the kindest things that you will hear, one of the beneficial things that you will hear is, he says, be still and know that I am God. Rest and know that I am God. Who Who in your life actually tells you you should rest? You know what? It's good seeing you. You should rest, Ben. Not that you look tired, but you should rest. Right? Like, who in our life loves us that much that says, hey, you rest. I always had it, and I will take it from here. God does that. So resting in God, though, let's look at that. Resting in God refers to a spiritual rest. Just to rest and be at peace, you must settle. This is how you rest. This is how you are truly at peace. Is that you must. There's no other way. I'm trying to tell you, everybody's out here looking for it. There's no other real way to rest. This is how you rest and be at peace. That you must settle in the company of God. Simple. You must settle. You must be still. You must sit. You must be patient. Settle in the company of God and be fully surrendered to Him. This is how we find real rest, not vacation rest, but this rest that goes with you everywhere you go, in chaos and in peace. This is what it means to rest. This is why God made it a command. He made it a must. In Exodus, it says that you must remember to keep the Sabbath day, which is the day of rest. That is because the Lord worked 6 days. Well, 6 days is figuratively. We don't know. He could have worked 6 million years. And on the 7th million year, he rests. He sits outside of time. He doesn't have a concept of time. That is because the Lord worked 6 days, and he made the sky and the earth and the sea and everything in them. And on the 7th day, he rested, not because he had to, but because he chose to. God doesn't need rest, but he wants delight. And so he rested. In the same way the Lord blessed, he gifted, made it available here. The same day, and the same way the Lord blessed the Sabbath, the day of rest. He gave us a day of rest that I bet you we do not take. He has gifted us, even in society, a day of rest that we choose just to not rest on. So he made that a very special day. Now we're going to look at a passage, a story in the Bible. Y'all know I love my stories. Y'all know I love my stories. And I found this story hilarious. Have you, so we're going just to the book of John, chapter 9. Have you heard the story of Jesus spitting in the mud and wiping it on somebody's face? Raise your hand if you have heard this, because I just love to make sure that I am hitting everyone. Yeah, it is an interesting story, and you may be asking, what does this have to do with rest? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what this has to do with rest. And so let me share with you a backstory of what is happening. Jesus and his disciples are walking, and they see a blind man. And just like humans, we say, they said, hey, Jesus, why is that man blind? Did he, I don't know, sin? Did he, do something bad so that he became blind? Or did his parents do something bad? Is that why he's blind, Jesus? Because he has to deserve it. He's blind. And Jesus is like, nah, cuz. He's walking, he's like, nah. Now he's blind so that God's power will be displayed. But just watch, just bear with me. And they were like, okay, cool, all right, that works. And so what happens is Jesus goes to this blind man, and he looks at him, And he just hawks up a really good loogie, like, how many of you want to be spat on by Jesus? Nobody? Nobody here? I feel like you're supposed to say yeah. But if we're honest, do we really? Thank you. And so Jesus, like he sees this blind man. He spits in dirt. He makes it mud and he puts it over his eyes. And then he goes to tell this man just to wash it off in a nearby pool. And so this man did. This man washed this spit mud off in the pool and he could see. This man was blind all his life and he could see. And I feel so sorry for him. Because as soon as he opened his eyes, people didn't even believe that he could see. And this was the first time he's seen them in their life. He's like, oh, these are what people look like. Oh, man, this is disappointing. And so he washed off his mud and his eyes, and he can now see. And one of his first reactions was hilarious. And so he's like walking around seeing. Imagine, if you're blind, you see, you're happy. Somebody walks up just to him and say, is that Brandon? Because he was blind. No, it can't be Brandon because he can see. He can see. And Brandon's like, yeah, bro, it's me. Yeah, it's me. They're like, nah, it's not. It's not. It's like, what? This is the best day of his life. The best day of his life. And nobody believes that he can see. No one's celebrating with him. Like, let's go. He can see. And it gets worse. And so let's look in verse 13. This is John 9, verse 13. If y'all can't see, I'm sorry. I will do better next time. It says this. Then the people brought the man to the Pharisees. The Pharisees it's like stuck up religious rulers, you know. Stuck up. And the day Jesus had made mud and healed the man's eyes was on the Sabbath day. And so the religious leaders who wants miracles, who want to see healing, who wants just to see good happen, they said, hey, how did you get your sight? And he answered, well, this dude just came, Jesus, he came and like, I don't know, he spit on some dirt and threw it in my eyes. I thought it was rude at first, but then I saw that it worked. Direct quote. And he answered, he put mud on my eyes and I washed and now I can see. And man, I feel so sorry for this man. This man that was once blind, but now he can see. And says, some of the Pharisees said, that man does not obey the law about the Sabbath day. So he's not from God. Are you kidding me? The man can see. He was blind all his life. And the religious rulers came and say, hey, we don't care that you can see. We just care that it happened on the Sabbath day. They don't care that he can see. What they cared about is that it happened on the day of rest. And I believe that Jesus is trying to show us something here. The man was healed on the day of rest. It is funny how Satan will use your rest against you. Call you lazy. Call you not worth it. You're not doing enough. You're not making enough money. You're not making enough moves. Be better. Satan will use your rest against you just like he's doing now. But I believe that Jesus made a point. And so it doesn't even stop there. So they don't even believe the man. They still don't believe him. So they call his parents. Hey, Mom, Pops, come here. Is this your son? And they're like, and the parents are reluctant. They're like, I mean, kind of. I mean, why you ask? And so they asked him, is this your son? And the parents replied, this is what the parents replied. I mean, he's old enough. Ask him yourself. The reason why they did that is because you can be killed if you do something on the Sabbath day that you weren't supposed to do. They wanted no parts. And so they just pushed it back on their son and said, hey, I mean, he is old enough, ask him. And so the Jewish leaders, verses 24, so the Jewish leaders called the man who had been blind. They told him to come again. Now, he has to be sick and tired. This is the third time they asked him. So they brought him back. So you should honor God now. You should honor God by telling the truth. We know that this man is a sinner. They calling Jesus a sinner. And the man answered, I don't know. It's funny how Jesus heals this man, and this man don't even know Jesus, don't even really care about him right now. It's not like he was a follower and loved him and was just, oh, God, I worship you. Jesus, I worship you. No, he had no parts. He didn't care about Jesus. Even it says here, this man answered, I don't know if he is a sinner or not. I don't know him. But what I do know is this, is that I was blind, but now I can see. I believe that Jesus was sending us a message through this story. Jesus healed, gave him sight, made him see on the day of rest. This is what rest does. We rest so we can see clearly. Some of you all have blurry lives right now. Everything is blurry. You don't know you're up from down. You don't know what's right, what's left. You are confused. And you're like, hey, I can't see clearly. I can't figure this out. I can't get this right. And God is saying, let me help you. Rest. Rest. Submit fully. And be in my company. Rest. Did you know research says that the fastest way to solve a complex problem is not just to go at it harder and faster. It is to rest. And so then we go on just to verse 26. They asked, what did he do to you? How did he heal you? And the man is now getting annoyed. Like, what did he do? How did he heal your eyes? And the man answered, I have already told you that. I've told you several times. But you would not listen to me. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you want to be his followers too? Oh, he shouldn't have said that. It was a sarcastic statement. It's like, why are you asking me, do you want to be his followers too? And these Jewish religious leaders are like, no. And they start hurling insults and throwing names out there and calling him everything. And they sent him away. And they sent him away. Now, verse 35 says this. When Jesus heard that they had forced the man to leave, he found him and asked him, do you believe in the Son of Man? Jesus is asking, do you believe that I am God? Do you believe that I am the one that God sent? And the man said, tell me who he is, sir, so I can believe in him. And Jesus said to him, you have already seen him. The Son of Man is the one talking to you right now. What a G. Jesus standing there like, I'm God. I am he. You are not him. You are not him. Y'all seen that? No, I am he. You are not him. I know y'all seen this.
Yeah.
You are not him. I am he. And so Jesus says, I am the one talking to you. And so the man said, yes, I believe, Lord. Then he bowed down and worshiped him. The funny part is that he bowed down and worshiped him after he was healed. It didn't take for him to believe in him to be healed. Most of us are living this way. We have to think that we should believe in him and to follow him for him to accept us for who we are. That is not the case. He heals him. The man doesn't even care about Jesus. But because that happened, the man wants to know him. On the day of rest, I believe we rest so that we can know. We rest to know. On the Sabbath day of rest, this man, he now knew. It didn't take anything from him. He now knew who Jesus was. He now knew whatever he needed to happen would happen. Do we live our lives in this way? Did you know that Jesus can do, that God can do everything that we need in 2 seconds? And it takes us a lifetime? If only we will rest in him and trust him for that, you will see things happen. Yeah. Be still, rest, and know that I am God. I believe, this is me. I believe when I am not still, I believe I am God. When I don't stop and be still, I believe that I am God. But when I am still, I am reminded that he is God. I think the reason why God gave us deactivation buttons, right? Sleep. God makes us go to sleep, like we can't live without sleep. I believe he gave us a deactivation buttons, and so that we are reminded that he's the only one that can activate us. We can't wake up ourselves. I tried. Actually, like I said, I live my sermon. So this Wednesday morning, we had a prayer call at 6:30. 6:30, guys, every Wednesday morning. All are welcome. I know it's early. But I slept through it.
Wow.
The pastor, guys, slept through it. And I had to send out apology texts. Guys, I'm so sorry. But that showed me that I am not in control. That I desire just to wake up at that time. But it did not happen. are given the activation button so that we can be reminded of the one who activates us. And lastly, I believe that we rest so God can show us that our existence is meaningful. A lot of us are wondering. A lot of us are wondering of our existence. Do I mean something? What do I need to show you, God, so that I matter? What do I need to do so that you can pay attention to me? Oh, I know. I can do good things. I can work. I can do better. Then I can do more. Because the more I do, the more valuable I am. That is not it. Jesus wants to debunk that myth. And if you're not sure if that works or not, rest. And let him show you how much you matter. Let him show you how meaningful your life is. That is why he made us. Did you know that? It's not that we should do, he didn't make us so that we can be workhorses. It's the opposite, fully, believe me. He made us so that we can chill. What type of work environment is this, God? No, and I'm gonna be fired. I'm not doing enough. God, you're gonna fire me. I'm not doing enough. I'm not making the quota. No, hey, the job is chill. Have fun. Be free. Have joy. This is the vein of your existence. And when you really receive this gift, you will want to share it with others. And this is the gospel. This is the kingdom of God. The world says work, but the kingdom of God says not so. Rest. And you may be wondering, how do I even rest? Here's the first step. Be in the company of God. I know that might be a frustrating answer because you want practical 1, 2, 3 list things. But be in the company of God and you will see his goodness. And once you see it, you will respond. And when you respond, you actually find yourself doing good things. You actually find yourself working for fun. Not out of self-energy, but from him. The gift of life that he gives you. You are not your output. You are not your output. You are here for God's input. And the story ends like this. They send the man off. They don't believe him that he can see. I doubt he cares. Can you imagine a church hurt? This man could not see. Now he sees. Something good happens. They bring him to the local church, the Pharisees, and they say, look. And they say, get away. But then he meets Jesus. on his way out. And Jesus says this. Remember, he was born blind so that he could be used to show that God can do great things. He was born blind so that he could be used to show what great things God can do. Some of you may have some form of blindness. Some of you may not be blind, but you're something else. You may not be blind, but you're depressed. You may not be blind, and you have an illness. You may not be blind, but you have a speech impediment. You may not be blind, but you have a deep need and a knowing that's not happening right now. But this is what I want to encourage you with, is that you are that thing so that you can be used to show what great things God can do. And he will not look over you. He will absolutely use you. And he's going to. Just be patient and rest. Be in his company. That looks like maybe reading the Bible, going on a run, talking to God. Simple. And so for this next few moments, I have a shared challenge for you. We're bringing it back, guys. We're bringing it back. For the next few moments, speak with the person around you, someone new, if you don't recognize them. So we have these things called Share Challenge. And it is share because y'all should do it, but a challenge because it may be a little bit tough. And a lot of us don't believe in talking in church. We've never seen that where we are today. And so, for the next few moments, become vulnerable. One of our culture statements here is that vulnerability saves. Like, just be your unpolished and unprocessed self. And we welcome that in real time. And this is your moment. So, share one specific area that you are not resting. That you are not in the company of God with. It can be anything. Anything. Share that with the person around you.